All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another phenomenal episode of Zero Dark Nerdy, the world's most notorious pop culture podcast. This is your host, Brian, a.k.a. El Nino, and today I am joined with...
Joel Collins.
And Nicole, a.k.a. Il Mama.
And Rodney Wallace, a.k.a. White Black Guy.
The rest of the guys are either out of town or getting ready to play shows, so big shout-outs to Saba, Mateo, Jadon, and Jordan. We will be back together in the studio in the next few weeks, getting ready to do year-end wrap-ups, all that fun stuff. The gang is, of course, still all together. Today, we're going to be talking about all things metal. Joel is joining us here. He is part of the faction that is known Crank It Loud Music. So if you've been to an awesome metal show within the last 10 years, he is probably the man that more than likely brought it to your town here in the Carolinas. Yep. So we're going to be talking about, metal, how we got into it, first bands that we liked, favorite albums, all kinds of fun stuff. So we'll kick it off with the guest of the hour. Joel, what brought you to the dark side?
I don't know. Just growing up and my brother playing shows and he just started playing drums and got in a band. Next thing I know, I was at their practice. Then I discovered Pantera.
Yes.
Nice.
And it just kind of went from there. I was hooked.
Okay.
What was his band name?
It was called Social Phobia.
Which
later on I joined as a singer, but
it's a very fitting
it's
name nowadays.
Yeah, right?
It is.
So was there like a band before Pantera? Because everybody I think has like their starter kit. Metallica.
Yeah, I'm the kid. I have a picture somewhere. It's me on the couch with hair everywhere, and I was wearing the Metallica shirt that has the 4 faces.
Okay, yeah,
and Justice for All. And I was hooked as soon as I heard that.
Yeah.
Which later on brought me back to Pantera.
I had the shirt, but not the hair.
I had the hair, not the shirt.
Nicole, what bands did you start off with?
Me and my sister, we used to go downtown Chapel Hill a lot. So I would always frequent School Kids.
Ah, nice.
So one of the first albums that I bought was a mix album, and Rammstein probably was my first, and Mushroom Head and Hatebreed. They were all on the same. It was like a mixed CD. But
can I get that mixed CD?
It was awesome. Yeah, and that's why I bought. And you could buy them so cheap there. But yeah, that was my introduction to metal, and I fell in love. What about you, Rodney?
It was very coming up. I didn't listen to a whole lot of music because my black dad listened to Power 97, so it's all the classic whatever. And then my mom didn't listen to music at all. But my cousin Tommy came up to me and he was like, "Oh, this band's awesome." I was like, "Well, what is it?" And it was Rage Against the Machine.
Okay, all right.
Their first album,
yeah.
And he starts playing it for me, and I'm just like, Zach is legit talking to me right now because I'm angry. I'm in high school and I'm getting picked on because I'm the scrawny kid. And then it leads me into Korn. And then as soon as downloading music, as soon as Napster started, I downloaded People Equal Shit by Slipknot for the first time. I didn't know who the hell Slipknot was.
Yeah. And
I listened to that and it was a wrap after that.
Nice.
Slipknot.
Yes.
The gateway.
The 9.
The best gateway
drug of metal. I do like those guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Just like Joel, of course, it was Metallica in the 80s. I guess Motley Crue a little bit. I know it wasn't metal, but it was, hard rock at the time. Ozzy, Maiden. Hair metal. Exactly. By the time the 90s came around, Pantera, Vulgar Display of Power came out, and my life was just changed.
Yep.
I wanted to be a bald, angry white man from Texas. Still to this day, one of my favorite metal albums of all time. Sepultura, I was a big fan of them back in the day. I still am a big fan. And you touched on Rage. Around that time, late 90s, we started getting, the quote-unquote new metal. So Korn, Deftones. Really love System of a Down. Glad to see that they're playing some shows next year. And then I think by the time like the 2000s came around is when I started discovering like metal bands. So that's like Lamb of God, Mastodon, Killswitch Engage, and I'm like, and then I just went because I thought my mind was already blown with Pantera. By the time Lamb of God came around, I was like, I'm gonna kill people. They started, posting the Wall of Death videos at their shows and all that shit. I'm like, man,
we can never get a Wall of Death in America. By the way,
no,
it's always overseas shows.
Right,
it's always in Europe.
Well, I feel like the pits nowadays, I'm sure Joel will be able to speak to this. I mean, the pits nowadays are already crazy fucking enough as it is, where we don't need a Wall of Death right now.
It's not a circle pit. It's people pushing each other.
I don't know, man.
That's kind of what a pit is.
Well, I mean,
it's extreme
definition.
It's more the shoving as opposed to just a circle of just sweaty
chaos.
men.
I do like seeing circle pits.
I do too.
I don't like I'm not in them, but I like seeing them.
And it's weird because a circle pit goes the same direction as a toilet. It doesn't
Does it go reverse in Australia? We need to ask the artist murder that.
There you go.
And, to nowadays, good segue there. The Artist Murder, Acacia Strain, After the Burial. I do got to give a shout out to Jordan Brown. Normally, if it's like newer-ish metal, he's the one that's like sending me the music links. So thank God for fucking Apple Music, because back in the day, a lot of these bands, if they weren't on MTV, they were very hard to find.
Yeah.
Unless you were going to like a School Kids. Or what do we have? We had the Record Exchange here in town. Yeah. There was what was the one at Quaker Village where you could listen to music?
BB's.
BB's. Yep. And their metal selection was phenomenal. Probably the best metal selection in Greensboro.
Matt Rosinski.
Okay. Nice.
Like the brain behind that.
I tell you, I just miss record stores in general, but that one was my favorite. And Record Exchange, too. I talk about it.
You would think they could even like record stores, granted they're going to sell you vinyls, and like what's weird is vinyls are on the upkick of people wanting to buy vinyls. Yeah, because that's all you see at shows now. They sell the vinyl, you get it signed. Yeah, and people have a vinyl collection.
Fucking hipsters.
Hey now.
But
I love my vinyl.
You go to a record store, like, hey, I want to listen. Can I just listen to so and so? It should be a thing where you could just go in, put the headphones on, and pull it. Just pull it up on your phone or something. Right. That way the record store stays relevant for people who say they can't access Apple Music or Amazon Music or whatever, because some people just can't afford it.
Right. Right. And I mean, to me, it was always just the nostalgia, just being, just like Blockbuster Video, just to be able to kind of walk around and see what else is out there, I mean, kind of the case to where you want to judge a book by its cover, it's that the cover art, is half the fucking battle. Like if the cover looked cool, then you're 90% going to listen to it. I mean, Vulgar Display of Power did that. It was a dude getting punched in the face, for Christ's sake. I'm like, sold. I'll take 10.
That's how I found my little mixture album, I guess.
I would love to know what that fan art looked like, or the album
I might
cover
still
looked
have
like.
it.
Do you really?
Yes. I might still have it.
I need a picture of
Didn't
that.
Crank It Loud, did you guys used to pump out, what was it, from videos from shows or mix CDs or something like that?
We started as a blog.
Okay.
Literally, we had a news site. It was weird.
Yeah.
And we tried it out for like a week, and then we started doing videos.
Yeah.
Put them on YouTube, and just basically had a dude at the show with a GoPro, and we just put it together. And it started off good, but then we just realized we should just book the show.
Right.
So then we got tied up doing that, and we just kind of neglected that whole part. We're talking about bringing it back, but because some of our street team people are really good. Yeah. I look at their stuff, they tag us in, and I'm like, Lord, I need to share that. So I'm trying to share it more and more, but we used to do that.
Right. Because I think I saw some of your Facebook posts, and it looked like your awesome kind of CKY videos, this Crank It Loud compilation volume 1, and it was videos from all these shows, and I was like, damn, I want to get my hands on one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you're probably talking about, was it a series DVD?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I used to have a record label, and one of the things that we did was we released 7 DVDs, I think. It was 6 of one, and then we did a North Carolina one that was strictly all North Carolina bands. But that's what you're talking about. Yeah. It's 2 hours or 6. I don't remember how long they were. Might have been 6 hours, but we're trying to mimic a Headbangers Ball.
Right.
Nice.
Without the actual host.
Yeah.
It's just basically video
no Ricky
after
Rackman.
video, and then you'll have an interview and then a video, and Yeah, I used to
Jamie
go around.
Johnston.
I did
What'd you
that before I was actually into the booking thing. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Going to shows, and I would be like in the face of someone like, "How's the tour?" I mean, there's footage I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's footage of people fighting. Like I'm literally doing an interview and a fight breaks out with the guy doing the interview, and I'm like, I guess I'll keep this going.
Absolutely.
Half jackass, half headbanger.
I'm pretty sure it's. I'm pretty sure the band was A Life Once Lost and in Raleigh, and I think it's on one of those DVDs. It's like a behind the scenes footage that we had on there, and it's just funny. I think it was some drunk dude interrupting and.
No, at a show.
Yeah. For real?
You have to send us this footage so we can put it on the website, like a little precursor.
I'll look for it.
Please do. Please do.
Do you guys do any booking at like the Ritz in Raleigh?
We do not do anything if it's under the Live Nation.
Okay,
They don't allow outside promoters, so we
Right.
just don't work with them. But yeah, so like Ritz, anything Coliseum related, the Fillmore, like we just don't go into those rooms.
Right.
But we do most of the other venues, like Lincoln Theater, Cat's Cradle, Blind Tiger, Famous South.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you do local, just around North Carolina, or
it's most of North Carolina and some South Carolina. Like I know we go into Columbia and Greenville occasionally.
Greenville's blowing up on the music scene. Like they're blowing up, period. But yeah, that's awesome.
Nice. Well, we do have Joel getting ready to announce a couple dates for some shows coming up here in Greensboro. Before we get into that, we're going to take a quick little commercial break for our good friend and the best damn attorney in all of North Carolina, Andrew Newman, attorney at law for all your criminal and traffic needs. We'll be right back. We'd like to take the time to thank one of our sponsors, Andrew Newman, attorney at law. Located here in Greensboro, North Carolina, he can assist you with your criminal as well as traffic violations, and his practice includes Guilford, Forsyth, as well as all surrounding counties. To set up a free consultation, you can contact him at 336-663-2388, and you can also visit him on his website, attorneynewman.com. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into some of our favorite metal shows of all time, Joel's going to give you a nice little rundown of the schedule coming up here for the Carolinas. So if you are in or around or going to be in North or South Carolina for the next few months, you might want to listen up because there are some incredible shows coming your way.
All right. So we have Rings of Saturn coming to the Blind Tiger on November 12th. That is with Enterprise Earth, Angel Maker, and Brand of Sacrifice.
Oh, nice. I know Jordan's very excited for that show.
I like the names.
November 15th, we have High on Fire, Power Trip, Devil Master, and Creeping Death. That is at Amos South End in Charlotte. We've got November 22nd, Chelsea Grin.
Chelsea Grin? I love Chelsea Grin.
That's with the Acacia Strain, Spiked. Have you heard Spiked?
I have not heard of Spike.
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Traders and Left Behind.
What date is that?
November 22nd.
And that's at Blind Tiger?
Add that to your calendar.
Yeah.
Your calendar.
Zero Dark Nerdy will definitely be in the building for that. So look for us there. We might have some free t-shirts for you.
There you go. November 25th, Thy Art is Murder.
Woo!
Born of Osiris is coming December 4th.
Oh,
That's right.
Did you say Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, Born of Osiris. Really?
How dare you, Rodney?
I'm Southern. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's Born of Osiris.
I know who that is.
You said December 4th?
Yeah, December 4th.
I'm writing all this down.
There you go. Oceano and Car Bomb is also on that. Integrity.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever heard that band.
We definitely don't have any of that on the show.
No,
Old school.
zero integrity.
January 3rd, that is at Motorco.
Now, where is Motorco at?
Motorco is in Durham.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a nice spot.
It's a pretty good venue.
Yeah.
I've been there like once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
The acoustics in there are really good.
Nice.
For the size of the venue.
Okay.
Yeah, they've really dialed it in.
Yeah.
Nice.
The past few years. April 17th of next year, Insomnium. That's at Local 506. We have a bunch more. Can't talk about them
Gotcha.
yet.
Gotcha.
But we've got some serious bangers.
So if people want to see more of your shows, what's the website? Hit them with it.
crankitloud.com. .net.
Whew. .net, bitches.
and you could probably just post a link on Zero Dark Nerdy to lead them.
We will do that as well.
There you go.
You know, again, like I said, if you've gone to a good metal show in the last 10 years, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, these guys have put it on. Jordan and I, we talk about the Die Artist Murder show. This is the segment now where we talk about our favorite shows, so I guess I'll go ahead and start.
Please do.
We saw Die Artist Murder with Carnifex. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. And this was 2 years ago, and we honestly probably talk about that show minimum like once a month. Just a full-on fucking rager. It was right when Dear Desolation came out. And, I mean, it was just fantastic.
Is that Blind Tiger?
Yeah, Blind Tiger.
Yeah,
so, again, we'll definitely be in the building for that November 25th, I believe. It's Monday. I know it's a Monday. It's a Monday before Thanksgiving. Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be a hell of a weekend at Blind Tiger because that Friday before Thanksgiving is going to be Chelsea Grin with Acacia Strain. When we saw Acacia Strain with After the Burial at Arizona Pete's. Right around this time last year, probably. Another phenomenal fucking Crank It Loud show. So, besides that, I think Rodney talked about the Hatebreed show we saw with Acacia Strain as well as Shadows Fall. That was a few years back. And then you put on one of Phil's bands. Which one was it? It was the like
Super Joint Ritual.
Yes.
Well, Super Joint.
Yeah.
That's what it is by now.
Yep, that was at Green Street. Well, god damn, that's probably like 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
So Joel hooked it up on that. I went to Joel. I was like, whatever I need to do to meet Phil from Pantera, let me know. And he was like, yo, he just wants some food. So I went to Flathers. I was like, yo, we get tickets and we get to meet Phil and we just got to feed the fucking band. And he was like, done. So met Phil. He was the nicest guy on the planet. Joel, again, thank you for letting me meet one of my fucking metal heroes.
That's awesome.
And that's what I got as far as shows. Rodney, what do you got? Well, like a little synopsis. I know you've been to a lot of fucking shows.
If I had to rate
Sure.
the amount the amount of the shows I can't rate, but I went to 2 shows and I was taken by my best friend Jennifer Winkleman for my birthday both times.
Mm-hmm.
One in Vegas and one in Chicago. Chicago was the open air back in 2016.
Okay.
Not only was it every day, top to bottom, probably the best lineups I've ever been to, but you had, on the first day, you had Rammstein closing out, then the next day I think you had Slipknot closing out, then the third day you had Disturbed closing out.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And in between all them, you had Baby Metal, Killswitch Engage, and I've been...
With or without Howard?
Huh? Without Howard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was already in... Light the Torch, which was there's now Devil, or is it
I
backwards?
heard he's coming back.
Used to be Devil.
I did hear that they were going to do a tour with both singers, which would be fucking awesome.
It'd be fucking awesome because honestly, Killswitch Engage wouldn't be who they are
without
Howard.
I agree 1,000% with that.
But and I don't, because I've met the other guy. He's a great guy, but he came out and started like the first year or two after he came back. There was a lot of animosity, which was dumb in my opinion. But then, like, Howard has diabetes, so he was like starting to like have trouble being on stage so much, and this, that, and the other.
But his voice,
his voice is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that, like, him and Jamie Josta have a song together that's really great. You can find it on iTunes. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I have it on my phone and it's in my hand. But,
it's so far away.
It's so far away. But I was actually going to tell you, I was like, you look amazingly like Heidi Butcher from Butcher Babies. And Butcher Babies is one of the
that's his jam.
Badass fucking chick bands on the planet to me.
Really?
You know, like Arch Enemy, I love them. Yeah. But Butcher Babies in this moment, like there was a lot of female driven bands and they're starting to make the come up now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Stitched Up Heart. I'm gonna say Dorothy, I think has did Dorothy have a lead singer that's a woman? I can't remember. But they like the last show I went to, which in this moment, which was here in Greensboro, was a great show.
I think one of my favorite was Kitty. Kitty was my favorite.
Oh, dude, Kitty!
Hell yeah! Nice shout out to Kitty.
Kitty, like, opened the door to women singing like that, and then like the bassist who did the growl, like the black chick with the red hair.
Yeah,
ridiculous. But Chicago Open Air was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. And then we went to Vegas and saw them, and it was them, Korn, and Stone Sour. So you had Corey Taylor, Jonathan Davis, and Rammstein all in the same area. And I'm just like, you can't, I mean, that's like dream lineups.
Right.
That nowadays it's really hard to get. And then, like, I'm really looking forward to Epicenter this year. Back in Charlotte, they're going to have Metallica for 2 dates.
Right.
You know, and I've never seen Metallica live.
I actually never have either.
You know, they came here, you know, this past year. They had a tour, you know, they were in Charlotte, they were in Raleigh. But seeing them in a festival with 2 separate whole playlists.
Yeah.
And then you have the fillers. Even if the fillers are shit, which I don't think they're going to be shit, because last year apparently Epicenter was kind of hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to drag anybody under the bus, but like they're really trying to get it back to where it was a couple years ago.
Sure.
So I have a feeling they're going to really try to get other people, because there's a lot of bands with new CDs coming out.
Yeah.
You have Hatebreed, Korn, Slipknot has a new CD out. They're touring right now. And then you already have Metallica. So Metallica's going to draw 20, 30,000 people.
Right.
Just them.
Right.
But
If
anyway,
it's
those are
by
the...
Crank It Loud, I bet they're going to be awesome.
I'll tell you. They need to get involved in that.
That's right. Local shows, baby. Hey, Mama, what you got over there?
Oh, you know, my last show was a long time ago.
Oh, Lord.
It was Between the Buried and Me at the brewery in Raleigh, North
great
Carolina.
band.
Nice.
So that was forever ago, obviously.
Right.
But I did want to talk about my metal choices. I
Okay.
guess.
Okay.
So
I mean,
obviously,
that's the episode that we're on.
yeah.
I want
So
to hear your pop choices.
You want to hear my choices?
What's your
pop
top 5
choices.
Taylor Swift songs?
No. We really don't want to do that.
We're not gonna talk about.
We're not going to talk about those. They're not on your front at all.
Obviously, Metallica, and then I'm an '80s baby, so Avenged Sevenfold, AC/DC, Anthrax, Black Sabbath,
Anthrax.
love the Def Leppard, love the hair metal,
Hair metal's
man.
good.
Iron Maiden, Mushroom Head, Slipknot is always a go-to. They have amazing music. Pantera, and obviously Lamb of God. But then I'm like a huge fan of metalcore. So
Yeah.
I love metal, but I love what it's also brought to new age table. So you got your Die Hard is Murder, obviously. August Burns Red, Norma Jean, which came out with an
Hell
old
Jean
album.
yeah.
is really great.
The Word Alive, I love them, and Attila is awesome.
Nutella?
Attila,
Like the stuff you spread on your sandwiches.
like
Not
Attila the Hun.
Nutella.
Oh, I'm kidding.
Attila the Hun.
Nutella. I get it.
Love them all.
No, every band you mentioned is great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Mushroom Head's very underrated.
Very.
They are.
They put on a good show.
They're one of those bands that came out the same time Slipknot did.
Yep.
But they get overlooked. I saw them at Metal in the Mountains in West Virginia, and they put on. There wasn't a whole lot of people because it's West Virginia and they're not very well known. But this place puts on a great show, and they came out and just brought it for like what felt like 2 to 3 hours, and they were just going at it. Hitting the drums,
They're
water
awesome.
spewing everywhere, lights everywhere. I mean, I've listened to Mushroom Head since their first CD in like 94, 95. They're very underrated. They're very good.
They are. I think I was in high school when I first heard them.
Me too.
On my Rammstein album.
I was definitely in high
my
school.
introduction
Well,
to
because I remember
metal.
they opened up. They were either one of the openers for the Family Values tour or
Yeah.
whatever with Limp
Back in the day.
Bizkit, fucking Korn, all that shit.
Yeah.
So, and that's when they put on their show, and he had like the dildo that
That's
spewed
when-
milk everywhere, or whatever the fuck it was.
That show and like the Family Values tour is why they couldn't come back to America
Right.
for like 10 years.
Right.
And then they came back.
Like, you and your
Chicago
prosthetic
Open Air was
dick,
the
get
first
out of here.
Dude, it was
How un-American. And now it's like so quintessential
Right.
American.
Now it's where's your prosthetic
Yeah.
dick? Before it was get it out of here. Now it's where's it at?
Sorry, you can't come here with that one.
Joe, what are some of your like favorite shows, whether local, national? I mean, I know you've been to a fuck ton, you put on a shit ton, but what are some highlights for you?
What do you look forward to?
Yeah. Oh, and also too, what is some of the weirdest shit you've seen on some of your riders?
Yes, please.
All right. I think the one show that will always stand out to me, which is, I guess, the kicker to me, I went to Pantera, White Zombie, Machine Head, and Cold Chamber.
Holy shit.
I'm about to have a stroke.
At the LJVM in Winston-Salem. It was in 1997. I just pulled it up to verify.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was May 9th, 1997.
I want your eyeballs in your memory right now.
You know, and I wasn't, I mean, it was like I was young, so I was just taking it in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, Cold Chamber is like, you know, back then the whole new metal thing was getting huge. It was like Korn,
Yeah.
whatever. So Cold Chamber comes out and it was like, cool. And then Machine Head comes out and it was just like a punch. It was like, you know, heavy, no craziness, just heavy.
And that was Machine Head with Ivan, right?
It was the original line.
Yeah, the original
10-tone
lineup, yeah.
hammer and whatever. I don't remember. So then it turns into White Zombie, and their light show is insane.
Mm-hmm.
It blew my mind. You know, I've never seen lights like that because I guess I just didn't go to enough concerts or something.
Yeah.
Were you rolling on something?
No.
This is 97.
Rolling
You
on
would think
awesome.
that.
Oh,
They'd be like,
that's newer.
What's
Sorry.
wrong with you? They'd be like, what's wrong with you? I'm just like, I'm mesmerized. But the lights would twist and like go around the crowd, but the way the beams would hit you, it felt like it took you with it. It was weird.
Yeah.
So after that, I was like, I'm mind blown. And then
Right.
Pantera comes out, and it was just like,
I don't know
I'm
if I can
done.
take anymore.
Sensory overload.
so here's the other kicker. After the show, everybody was like, hey, we're going across the street to Ziggy's. There's an after party.
Ziggy.
The after party was
God.
Strapping Young Lad and Stuck Mojo.
Holy shit.
I was like, you'll never top that night.
No.
It just kept
No.
getting better and better. So, you know, that will always be probably the one show that, as a young
Yeah,
kid,
I could see that.
You won up
I've seen
everyone.
a lot since then, but as a young kid, that was the one. And I
You were
was
probably
like,
desensitized after that, huh?
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I literally
God.
went home, I picked up a guitar, like,
I am metal. I'm so jealous of that. Man.
Enlightened. He
Dude,
was
that lineup sounds
enlightened.
amazing.
and then I guess it's just like later on, playing in a band, touring, you see a lot of shows, you
Yeah.
play a lot of festivals and weird things. So I've seen a lot of that. Like, I guess like one of the big things for me was Hellfest. That was a big thing back in the day. There's one overseas, but
Yeah.
this one was the American one. It was a hardcore based one. I think we played that 3 or 4 times. I don't know, but it was. You see bands like Dillinger and Converge, even Hatebreed, like all in one room. It was
Yeah.
you know, so many bands. It's ridiculous. So that was probably, that'll always be like the one thing that to experience, to come up in that scene. You know, so later on, like the metal, you know, getting into booking and you book it. So I get excited when we book certain
Oh my
bands.
God,
Yeah.
I would
You know,
be too.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, I still fanboy. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
scared.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, we'll book stuff. I know, like the time we booked Hatebreed, the last one at Arizona Pete's. I'm pretty sure I fanboyed hard. I even posted on social media. I was like, you know, this band, you know, because they do mean a lot to me. Like, a lot of my work ethics and the way I think was influenced by Jamie Josta.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because he wasn't only a singer, or isn't only a singer. He had his hands in everything. He managed bands. He ran a label. He, you know, booked shows.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing everything but sleeping.
Yeah. And they don't get the notoriety they deserve.
And
Yeah.
so that
Agreed.
hustle it influenced me. So that's why coming up, I was like, well, I play in a band. I need to book shows too. I ran a table with CDs and sold them at shows. Not even my shows. I would just set up a distro is what they call it.
Right.
I did that. I did got into the managing. I got into the booking. I got into booking tours, and then running the label, which eventually led me into just booking fully.
Yeah.
Because I found that's like my thing now. So
Yeah.
So I guess just experiencing all that, but seeing a lot of metal shows. So, when we book a band, I do get excited a lot of times if it's something I like. I don't know what I've seen. Like, I mean, the Hatebreed show at Pete's was awesome. I mean, all the fights were terrible, but
well, I mean, it's just, that's not because of Hatebreed or your booking. Yeah. It's just because of people in Greensboro in the South.
Yeah,
they're aggressive.
Ignorance.
We're aggressive. Yeah. We're angry and we're aggressive. If you listen to Hatebreed's lyrics, like, they're really deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Jamie's
uplifting
lyrics,
music.
Yeah. Like, a lot of his stuff is about the record industry. It's about politics.
Yeah.
It's about, just the youth at the time just being angry about not being listened to and having to be talked down to. Yeah. And not to mention that we have a picture with them from Stumbles at the bar.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
I'm going to have to find that. Shout out to Flathers.
Same thing with Thy Art Is Murder. They're very political, too. And I love that about them.
Oh, yeah.
But they put it over in a way that it's not like MSNBC or CNN political.
Right.
But it kind of is, though.
Is it really?
Yes.
I don't get that from them,
one of the albums that I think was my favorite was Holy War, which was completely political about Syria, I think. I don't even know. I can't remember. But it was awful.
It must be the way they put it over, because, like, when I hear it, it doesn't come at me.
Well, when you hear it and then when you see it on social media, you're like, shit, they're talking about this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, on their new album, they have a song, Make America Hate Again.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's one of my favorite fucking songs on the album. So, I mean, and I'm not political by any means. I mean, I don't even want to get into all that. I'm independent as fuck. But, yeah, I mean, I see your point, though. Holy War was, this one, obviously, this album is, it seems like every other album's not. Like, Dear Desolation didn't seem political at all. Hate is definitely not political.
Holy
it's
War
just, here I am,
honestly,
like,
face. I think I love that about that album. I can't say that about all of them, but I mean, that album in particular, I was just kind of like, wow.
Right. All right. So as far as like riders, what's some weird shit that you've seen on some riders? Just random ass shit. I know you don't get like the super duper celebrity, like I need all blue M&Ms in my motherfucking cookie jar shit. But what have you seen?
To be honest, nothing stands out at all. Like,
okay.
I mean, there's been some to me, they're normal, I guess. Like,
that's good.
Like Mac Miller, when he came to Green Street, his rider was salads.
That's it?
Yeah, but not
kale
just one.
Specifically?
Yeah. No,
spinach?
he wanted like 5 or 6 different salads. Like, he was like, more salads the better.
Make it rain salads on
when
me.
I let him in the back door and we went into the green room, he walks up to the table and I think he grabbed a chip.
So he asked
and
for
then he went
salad.
upstairs and went on stage.
So he asked for salads, but he wanted chips.
He just wanted the look
I'm
of it.
assuming it was for the crew, but I mean,
right.
Like, here I am ordering, like, let me get this kind of salad, let me get this kind of salad, let me get this kind of salad.
Make it rain green.
Spinach, iceberg,
it was like walking into a restaurant with a salad buffet.
You had a fucking Ruby Tuesday set up.
But I mean, you'll get like random stuff like that. I mean, sometimes I'll do post-show food, like, so we'll send a runner. I mean, we haven't done this in a while, but it's mainly in hip hop, where they'll be like, we want to feed the whole band, so they'll send you out with a $500 order
for hip hop. The
whole
band?
Crew.
Yeah.
Well,
the
hip hop,
crew.
they bring their whole,
half the family's there.
I was about to say, you're talking about the band. I'm like, you're talking about the DJ and the singer.
Well, yeah, you have like one rapper and then like 15 other people.
Yeah, and 18 managers.
And there's nothing to
It
load
takes
in.
a lot.
They don't even load in gear. I don't. They don't even have merch, and they honestly, we rent the tables and then spin on. So
one's on Facebook, one's on Instagram. They all just have their lane.
they have the lane.
It takes a village.
So we'll send them out, and like, there's been some weird stuff where they're like real picky. They're like, ASAP. I think ASAP Ferg was like pescatarian only. Like, I think out of the 400 we spent at Fishbones, I don't know where it was. It was like fish, one meat, fish. And like, but here I am, like at load in, like, here's all the menus.
Right.
Of course, we'd always be like, Stumbles is next door.
Yeah.
Just walk over. I mean, that was I love that. I missed that part of Green Street because now, like at Tiger and stuff, I have an advance sheet. It all goes in there. I don't have to constantly tell you. I just tell you where to go, and then just Google it. Like, look up Jake's.
Yeah.
But like at
awesome.
Green Street,
Their
like,
food is awesome.
Delicious.
a band would, when I would advance the show, I would just say, I mean, there's Jimmy John's, but I mean, Stumbles is next door.
Yeah.
And I would give them a menu.
Yeah.
And a lot of times bands love that because they don't want to be at the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they play.
Right.
They play, I mean, but you get tired of being in the same room. So
Right.
a lot of times bands are only here for one night and they really don't get to see the city.
Yeah.
So they want to go out, and that's
I've met a couple
that.
bands and stuff.
Oh, they want to
Yeah.
see Greensboro, do
Yeah,
they?
most of the shows we ever had, the bands would go to Stumbles.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the go-to bar.
Yeah.
There are like Shanks. I think I took like I Wrestled a Bear once to Shanks, and a few other bands went with us down there. But Stumbles was always the like, I'll
Yeah.
see you over there. I think like Newfound Glory when they came.
I remember Murder
they were-
FM was there.
Yep.
Um,
And then
One
Mickey
night.
Avalon and
Yep.
Dirt Nasty.
Dirt Nasty.
Dirt Nasty. They came in. They were nice
Yeah.
as fuck.
Hatebreed came in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm so glad you reminded me about that Hatebreed picture,
Oh my
man. I can't wait to
God,
find it.
I want to see it.
Yeah, we were hammered, but we had a
Let
blast.
me get on this.
And now with Green Street closing, hopefully, man, you can be able to open that spot up and put on your own show. So you own the building and you bring in the band.
yeah.
So fingers crossed on that. Again, make sure you all check out the website, crankitloud.net. Correct?
Correct.
So for all your shows in North, South Carolina, again, thank you, Joel, for joining us tonight. We've been trying to do a metal episode for a while. Again, big shouts to the guys who couldn't make it today, Jordan, Matthew, Jadon, and Saba. As mentioned, we'll be back in a few weeks to do like our year-end wrap-up episodes, all that fun stuff. Make sure you check out our website, popculturepodcast.com, for your latest blogs, movie trailers, industry information, sex lines, I don't know, all kinds of shit on there.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want it to be. Courtesy of our good friends over at Zipster, making some of the best websites on the planet for very, very low prices, as well as taking care of your SEO needs. That's ZIBSTER.com. And that'll do it for us. So thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out. We will be at the Chelsea Grin Show as well as the Artist Murder. That is going to be the Friday before Thanksgiving and the Monday before Thanksgiving. So if you're not in Greensboro, around Greensboro, get here that weekend. We will see you there. We might have some free shirts, all kinds of fun stuff. Hopefully we'll get the guys on the show soon. And we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Bye.
Metal makes the word better.
Yeah! Victory! And anger management? Fuck anger management.